Come on now.
All right, so we had to create a login, right?
Create the ad. No, it was just create add distress that page and then have it saved to parse.
Okay, so we would.
And then every time we went back to the main page, update it so the new one showed up.
Okay, but did I say that you had to create a user, or you didn't have to create a user that owned the own thing? Okay, that's fine. So is the idea that that we don't have multiple people log into the distress app? Instead, you get the distress app and you well, we kind of need to have some way of uniquely identifying a device, right? We don't have to do that at this point, but if since we're writing the app using parse to put in our name, phone, and message for the name of the different distress calls, right? And we're going to save those in parse. Well, hold on, did I start the recording?
Yes.
Okay, good. We're going to save those in parse, but now let's say that Nick logs into or opens up his version of the app. How does he not get my messages showing up on his device?
Oh, intruders.
You see what I'm saying? So we have to have some way of uniquely identifying those things. So what we could do we want to actually have a login system for this, or do we want to have it married to a device? And the real question is when we go back, if my phone is stolen or I erased my phone, I want to go and download the app again, should I have to re-put my messages in, or should I get my old messages?
Can you get the Apple ID from the phone?
Well, before I answer my question first.
Well, the answer is yes.
You should have to re-enter your stuff.
The answer is no.
I don't know, because the other thing is then how are we going to do the login thing? I don't want to have to if I'm in distress, I don't want to have to log in or have to worry about.
Sure.
Is there a way we could save it locally and to the cloud?
We can. What I was thinking is if the reason I asked the question about whether or not we need to, if we get a new phone, do we have to recreate our messages, or do you just kind of, do you get your old messages, or do you just have to recreate them to update what's going on in your life? Maybe you recreate them. Well, if we do that, then what we could do is we can actually marry these things to the device itself. But then the problem is that if you sell your device online and somebody goes and downloads the app, they're going to be pulling your data into it. Now the thing is, we could have them automatically log in after the first time. So we can give them a user account, have them automatically log in after attempt one.
And so then we would basically save the user account to the locally and then have it automatically.
Right.
Well, if you can get the Apple ID, you can just marry it to that, and therefore that solves both problems, right?
No, because if you do it that way, then it is then your account is married to your device, but you still have your account that is backed up on the server, so you can go to another device and log in.
Right. But if you sell your phone or whatever, like they can't get in. Like your phone.
Yeah. All right. So in any case, let's go ahead and we need to get. Well, I'm going to do a couple of things here. I'm going to add. Because we've already written login and registration pages, right? We did that for the other app.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add files to Distress. And what files am I going to add? I'm going to go out here to CUW. And here's our dice roller, right? And inside of that we have... Right. Yeah, login, and then didn't we have a register as well?
Oh yeah, down.
Oh, thank you. So we'll go ahead and grab both of those guys, and I'll copy that into my project. So I'll just get those two view controllers. And we're currently going to have errors from that, but I copied them in rather than creating a link. That's an important change. Now, any changes I make to login are not globally affecting the other one because I copied them locally to my project. If I just linked it, if you kind of have a library of things that you use often and you bring them in, anytime you make a change to one of those guys, it will have a global impact on your other projects, which might be what you want. Maybe you have kind of a library of things and you find bugs in them and you update it, and anything that links to them, you want that to update as well. You got a haircut. I'm not sure I like it.
I don't like it.
Put a hat on.
Change it
I
back.
did have a
Put a hat back on.
That's different.
Yeah, it's not right.
Shave it.
What's wrong with it?
I don't even know. It's like you look too normal. You usually kind of have almost like a disheveled type look to yourself, but now you're almost like too clean. Like I don't know, but it's
Reverse mohawk. Right in the middle.
it's bothersome. When you move back beyond. I can't stand to look at you. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get parse imported into our project using CocoaPods. So I'm going to go out here to the terminal, and let's see, where are we? Alexa's iPhone. Very nice. All right, so history grep for, let's just do dice. All right, there we go. 93. Except that's not actually where I want to be. I want to be here. And then we're going to go into distress. This guy will do VI pod file. And we'll do pod, what did you just parse? I think it's just parse, right? But it grabs that. It grabs both. But that was the name of the CocoaPods package, right? Just parse. All right, so now I can do a pod install.
Do you tab down to do right click?
No, you hit escape
Oh.
and then shift colon, then WQ. I've been using VI for years.
I couldn't figure that out. So
Yeah, no.
I think that's where my hotspot is.
Do you know even where Nano came from?
Yeah, it was like an email.
Yeah, Nano came. It was the original text editor for the Pico email client. Yeah, Nano is the editor for noobs.
Yeah.
VI is for real programmers.
You uninstall
Is it
VI.
or is it
Did
VI?
you see there was a post where you uninstall VI or Vim or whatever one? and
Vim
then
is the updated version of VI. I'm talking original VI.
Then you map Nano onto VI, so you use it like the same way. Oh man, so good.
Well, you don't use VI? I thought you were a real programmer.
Real program.
Aren't you always putting people down saying that, oh, you guys suck, blah, blah, blah?
It's like,
'cause
that's like programming.
you guys don't use Visual Studio?
Why?
What's
Why
this?
Why would you like control? That's the same as.
I think most people in here would say what you just saw me do happened pretty quick.
Yeah.
I think you can actually write things faster in VI once you've gotten the muscle memory into doing those things where colon write quick or colon WQ for write quit is so like ingrained that it's for people who touch type and never take their fingers off the keyboard. You can go in and out of files. Yeah, I think having a mastery of the terminal was the internet down. Is that the problem? Well, probably would be the guess here because it's not actually doing the CocoaPod stuff. Let's try to connect
Didn't
it.
it take a long time last time too?
No internet and it works.
Let me just do a quick once over on that guy. Make sure nobody left behind. That's what the final exam should be, using VI to write stuff.
I'm down. We use Vim at least.
There's no difference between VI and Vim.
It sounds
Vim
cool.
color codes some
It
stuff.
sounds cooler.
What does that even mean?
Does VI come like pre-installed on Mac or Linux anymore?
Oh yeah.
Or is it just Vim? I think
I-
it's Vim.
Well, it's possible, but there's no way you're getting away from having the original text editor.
Oh, I'm sure it's on there.
The only other acceptable, back in the days so let's say VI was the original Notepad. If you were a die-hard coder, what you would have used is Emacs as your text editor. Still command line, but had more auto indenting and stuff like that for programmers.
now you can just do lazy with Control C. done with it.
It'd be slower.
I don't know about that.
Well, I'm pretty sure.
Whatever.
Well, you don't know about a lot of things.
It's probably true.
So everybody else is always on the receiving end of his crap. So it's
okay. I'm having fun.
all right, so I have my couple of files in here, so at the very least I should be able to import parse now. Let me just go ahead and do a quick build so it links it. All right. Oh, actually, I might not need to, because of the way I did that, I might not actually need to import parse to have access to it. Yeah, I have access to pfuser. There's some other things in here that are going to be problematic shortly. But for right now, yeah, I think our other one we used, we had one of the CocoaPod flags, like use frameworks or something like that, turned on. I'm pretty sure in your CocoaPod file you have a thing that says use frameworks. Yeah. Well, I didn't do it in this one, so you actually don't have to import parse. It's actually kind of natively just part of the world, if you will. All right, so the only place in here I think I use this is, well, there's our show alert crap, so let's get rid of that. Ooh, wait a minute. Maybe I did need to import it.
No, well, yeah.
Those are just error messages. No such module parse. All right, 1 second. VI. There, while that guy's cooking, I think our internet is a little bit wonky right now. I'm going to go ahead and create my view controllers for our login and stuff, just so we have it, and then we'll remember our login. Let's go ahead and do that.
People are saying gedit is the way to go.
Right. There's login VC, and we'll make this guy 5.5. And then we need a username and password field.
There's no way to like copy this, right?
You could if you had both projects open and bring it in. It used to be easier when you actually had separate zip files for each one. But since we already have the files, it'll be pretty easy just to connect them up as long as your interface isn't like too complicated. And this guy should be secure. So now we should be able to just hook that guy up. So there's our password text field. And here's our username text field. And then we need our login button pressed. So we'll go ahead and give it a login button here. And we'll connect our login button pressed to that. We'll do touch up inside. All right, we'll say that's good enough for our login screen. Reset to suggested constraints. All right, then we need to do our registration screen. We'll drag this guy out here. We'll change his, that'll be a register screen. We'll update his size to 5.5. All right, and we're gonna steal this username box here. We'll put 2 of them out here. And then we're gonna steal the password. We'll put 2 of them out here. Okay. So we'll have a username, we'll have email. And then we'll have password and confirm password. All right, then we'll hook those guys up. So here's confirm come, I clicked. Trust me, I clicked. There's confirm password, there's email text field, there's password TF, there's username TF. And then we have the create button, so we have create and cancel. So let's go ahead and give ourselves a title bar up here. Uh-oh. I need an old priest and a young priest. All right, we put this guy right here. And we'll call this register VC. And we'll give him a couple of buttons. So this is cancel. And this is login or create. Go back here and hook those 2 guys up. So here's what our cancel button does right there. Here's what our create button does right there. All right, good enough for that. Good enough for that. And the page we want that guy to go to is our distress dashboard, which is this guy called View Controller. Oh, beautiful. So we'll name the storyboard that, and we'll go into login VC, and upon successful login, we're going to go to View Controller as a View Controller. It's just exhilarating. Okay. Oh, and then we had our phone core in this guy as well. So why don't I just go ahead and bring in. So we call it phone core in the other one. So we have 2 phone cores. One from the old project and one from the new project. I didn't think we called it the same thing. So I'll just bring that guy in. If I would have known that, I wouldn't have gotten rid of my other files and stuff. All right, so now we can go back here to register. Here's our show alert there. Oh, good though. So then I can steal this guy because I didn't pull it out of there. So we go back into login, and I can go ahead and put the message back in there. Similarly, I can do this, and I don't know, we'll just say the same message. Doesn't matter. Okay, so let's go back out to the terminal. So it removed that stuff. So let's go back in here, and just for the sake of sanity for right now, copy .. Okay, pod install. Maybe it needs that framework thing to work right.
Pod setup. That's what I'm usually doing for the pod install. If it actually does anything different.
Well, let's find out. I have a feeling I just broke it that first time because the internet was wonky in the middle of that. All right, that guy doesn't know about PF user, but he also doesn't know about parse. And now he does. And the world is happy again. Okay, so now let's go into parse, and let's go ahead. Did we already create a project for our distress? Well, I know you guys did, but create new app, distress, go there, we'll go to quick start just to get my keys, go to data, go to mobile, go to iOS, go there, whatever. Grab that code right there. All right, we'll put that inside of app delegate. All right, so now that guy is linked there. I need to import parse. All right, so let's go ahead and register an account real quick. So we need to move our starting page to our login page, this guy. No, not on the 6S Plus, please, not on the 6S Plus.
I also don't have a way of getting to the register page.
No. I was testing you.
Oh, by the way,
And you passed.
did you know that you posted that like race ladies night thing in this class, which has no?
Yeah. That doesn't mean you guys don't have friends who are females.
Do you have friends? What's a
What is this that you speak of? So there's our register button. So click here, show. Okay, now we can get there. All right, so we're going to register. We're going to say actually, I might as well use my name. Create. Oh, I never hooked up the spinner.
should buy it because we should buy it.
We don't have a spinner.
There's another one that'll stop animating.
Oh.
Issues.
Then I might as well hook it up.
Well, it's just like literally 4 lines down.
Nope, too late now. Where's my storyboard? We need us a spinner.
Just put it completely where we can't even see it.
All right,
You can just see the outline of the.
here's the spinner. Right there. Let me update that. It tried to talk to it. It got a null pointer exception because I didn't have it hooked up.
I feel like there should be a runtime or a compile time error. Shouldn't they be
Why?
able to catch that with the fact that nothing's hooked up to the spinner?
Well, you can programmatically hook it up somewhere in your code.
Yeah, I know, but the point is that if it knows nothing's hooked up to that, shouldn't it be able to catch that? Or at least
But the point is, you could programmatically connect in. Maybe you're programmatically connecting inside of a conditional.
But the compiler should still be able to see like warn you at least. If you,
I suppose possibly, but it might be completely reasonable to only conditionally hook something up. You might only hook it up if you're going to use it.
I still like you should be able to. The compiler should be able to know whether that's going to be used or not.
All right, so now we have a login system working. So now what we want to do is we have our with this guy. Oh, do we not have it hooked up yet? That was what you guys had to do, hook it up.
Yeah.
All right, so now when we hook up a this screen, let me steal some stuff from up here. In fact, I'm going to dump these. So we're going to have a name, phone number, and message. Is that right? And actually, we could probably do message inside of a text dude, right? One of these guys.
I wish you would do the Navy SEALs post inside.
That's it. Make the background a very light gray, just so I can still see it. Perfect. All right, we'll say that's good. All right. So now we need to, do we even have a code behind for this guy yet? All right. New message VC. Huh?
Just talking about how you know what the heck it's going to be.
A what?
It's going to be the icon.
New message VC. And then let's go tell that guy who he is. You are now a new message VC. Stop distracting Evan. He probably wants to pass the class.
Hey, he's distracting me.
Well, then keep up because it doesn't make a difference for him. All right, so let's go ahead and hook some stuff up. So we'll do that. And let's give ourselves our outlets for our three dudes here. And this is going to be, oh, I probably should have named that something in the username, but we'll call this name TF. And then phone TF. And then message TV. That guy's a table view, text view. Not insert the outlet. All right, and then let's go ahead and close this. We need to go ahead and do our cancel and our, there's cancel, there's create, So we need actions for those guys. So the cancel action will be right here. All right, or say cancel button pressed. Connect that, and inside this guy, all we're going to do is we're going to say self.dismiss view controller animated true completion nil. That's for the cancel button. The create button is going to go ahead and actually create something. Here's our action. This is create button pressed. All right, and this is where we're going to create our parse object. So let's go into here, and we can actually steal our code from register if we want. Name, phone number, message. Good enough. Steal those three things. We'll go in here to our new message guy. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure they put stuff in there. So this is our name TF. You must enter a name. Then this is phone TF. You must enter a phone number. This is message TV. You must enter a message. Okay, else.
The self dot is just because you like the style.
Not just the style, also it prevents me from misspelling stuff. And it's technically faster. Because it bypasses trying to resolve the variable in the local environment.
Yeah.
But that's not why I do it. I do it for the spelling. Okay. All right, so we could just come here then. We'll just say if message is equal to the empty string. Actually, let's do this. If message.characters.length or .count, I really feel like we're using the string here. So if that guy has a length of 0, then we can create the message. Else, show the error. And the error is going to be what? Phone core dot display. What's it? Show alert. Show alert title message create error. Messages message presenting view controller. Woo. Presenting view controller is this guy, and on screen delay is 2.0. Good enough. Okay. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and actually save this message. So in order to do that, we need to go tell parse about messages. So we'll go into core here. We're going to add a class. This class is going to be message. Every message is going to have a, oh, there it is. That took forever. The internet is real slow. So every message is going to have a owner ID. Oh. So we're going to have a pointer in here, and this guy is going to be a pointer to a user. This is going to be an owner underscore ID. Then we're going to have a string name. And then we're going to have a string phone number. And then we're going to have a string message text like that. And let me just drag these guys over and reorder them a little bit.
Limits on the string size?
Well, I'm sure there are. I don't know what is published as.
No, I mean like in parse. Like if you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are limits, but I don't know what they are. It's probably some giant
Right, so
string.
if I just start uploading a huge JSON thing up to it, would it take it?
My guess is probably up to a certain size. They have a 10 megabyte file size for uploading images, so maybe it's 10 megabytes of text as well. Or size, maybe some total length.
65K limit.
Okay, so we have our owner ID, a name, a phone, and the message text. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to create one of these guys. Now that we're in here, we know we have our message, so I'm going to import parse up top. Then down here, we're going to go ahead and say PF object. Actually, that's the wrong language. So let obj equal PF object, and we're going to give it the class name, where the class name in this case is message. Then we're going to say obj.setValue. And the set value is going to be name tf dot text for key name. Set value phone tf dot text for key phone. Obj dot set value message TV dot text for key message text. Obj dot set value phone core dot cur user for string owner underscore ID. Then we'll say obj dot save in background with block. This is success. This is error. In code, if success, self dot dismiss view controller animated true, completion nil, else phone core dot show alert title message create error, something went wrong during save, self 2.0, do that. Okay, so that's for our new message, which is where we should go if we hit that plus sign. So we need to make sure that we connect that guy up. So we're going to do this, hook it up right there. We'll show that guy. So now we should be able to create messages in here. All right, go ahead and click on that. I need to change it to something else, so let's call this message 1. Phone number is 555-5555. Message is woot. Hit create. One away. It should now be in parse. And there's our one line there in parse with the stuff we just created. Okay, so let's go back in here now. And Let's reset suggested constraints. All right, and this is currently our view here that should show all of our current messages, right? Okay, so we want to have the message name show up on here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And we looked at collection views last time, correct? Okay. So then what I'll do right now then is let's go ahead and save our username for when we come back into the app in case it's already saved so that way it'll log us directly in. So when we log in, I'm lost, here it is. Okay, so upon successful login right here, which we can go ahead and take out the trying to log in stuff and all that crap. Okay, before we actually log them in, we're going to go ahead and set the username and password for the logged in user. Okay. Yeah, this will work. So I'm going to actually do it up here. Oh, whatever. So we'll say let defaults equal ns user defaults dot standard defaults, and we'll say defaults dot set value. Value is going to be username tf.text for key username. Password will be set value. Okay. You know what? Actually, we don't need to. We don't actually need to save the username and password. We just need to save the PF user.
Well, doesn't it have to re-authenticate every time you like to save a message to that user? Don't they have to be logged in?
I don't think so because we're just using his ID. User dot. Can we?
Oh yeah, because the user has the username. And
Yeah.
So yeah.
And that's all we really need is that information. So once we actually authenticate them, then all we need to do is set, except we need to do this. Oh, this is fine. So let defaults equal, or rather, defaults dot set value user for key current user. All right, that should be good there. And then what we can do is inside of UDidLoad, we can say let defaults equal ns user defaults. Actually, we don't even need to do let defaults. We can say let user equal ns user defaults dot standard user defaults dot value for key. What key? Is it cur user?
Correct.
You sure?
Yeah.
Are you positive?
Yep.
Current user. If user is not equal to nil, then we'll say phone core dot current user is equal to user as a PF user. And then we'll go ahead and do the code that takes us to that next screen. So I'll steal this code. Nah, just whatever. We'll just duplicate it for time sake. So that'll take us to the main view controller screen. So now I should be able to log in once here, and the next time it should take us directly into the app. So we'll log in. It'll take us into the oh, it doesn't know how to store PF users. We're going to be better off saving the username and password. So, yeah, for right now, let's just leave that off. You have to type it in. Not going to kill anything. Okay, so let's just make sure this is still working so I can give you your homework assignment. Okay, so the assignment is going to be on that collection view page, on the view controller page. Go ahead and fill in that collection view with all of the messages currently saved for that user for the currently logged in user from parse. And whenever they add a new message on that other screen, the collection view should update. That make sense? So show all the messages that are already in parse. When you add something new, make sure that collection view updates when you come back to that screen. Just make sure this logs in. All right.
Submit it again if we did that.
Huh?
Yeah. We just like.
Sure, that's fine.
Okay.
Because I didn't tell you to do that last time, did I? Was that part of the assignment last time?
Kind of.
So how come a few minutes ago when I said, was that it for the assignment, everybody said yes?
I'm saying that, but
Oh, really? All right, well then the new assignment.
we didn't have the user thing.
Well, I'm not going to make you do the user thing right now. The new assignment is going to be set up a Twilio account and get it to send the message as a text message to your
Using the Twilio API.
using the Twilio API.
Only
I'll give you a link to it.
It's so like